I didn't mean to do that, but it was worth it. This is a part-time student of mine with a horse that she broke and brought over all the way up, and she just did her first Grand Prix.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Yay.
How'd you do? Good?
She said it was very presentable.
There you go.
So,
Beautiful.
okay, so I do apologize. I don't usually answer my phone. Okay, let's go to trot again. That canter wasn't too bad. No?
Yeah, she kind of starts to hop a little bit.
Yeah.
Especially on the bending line.
Yeah.
And then on the straightaway, she gets a little quick.
Yep. But I mean, what I'm saying is it a great canter? No. But for her, I thought it was pretty good. Let's trot again. Yeah. Good. Good. And just next time from up by C, turn down the 3/4 line and leg heel. Good. And just shorten the trot a tiny little bit, just because, not because it's too big. Yep. Attention. Good. Yep. Good. Good. Okay. Good. And now leg heel towards me a little bit. Take your time. Easy arms. Let the neck stay a little long. Very good. And then track right. Good. And then next time you're going to turn down the center line. Leg heel to the wall and then canter a circle. And then canter a circle. Good. Now, give your reins one stride, just barely. Give your reins, that's right. And then do whatever you need to. Just make sure you're not hard of her balance. That you're not holding it together. Yeah. And circle again. That's fine. Good. Good. And then straight ahead. And somewhere come to trot off of your hand. Off of your voice, not off of your hand. Oh, give, oh. Yep. That's actually better in the trot. Now, make a circle and let her stretch to the ground. You might shorten the trot a little bit first. Yep, and let her stretch. Gimme, 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 gimme. Yep, that's it. The reason I'm sort of chasing you about the giving is if you give the reins too slowly, one often discourages the horse from stretching. Yep. That's fine. Yep. And then leg heel out a couple of steps. Just a step or two. Go out. When I say out, I mean towards the wall. Yep. Good. And then back to the aids. Good. Okay. Now, a little bit slower trot. Just there. Just maintain this, just this, not more. Yeah. Center line leg heel. Leg heel. Let her bend a little bit more. There, push over. Try to let the shoulders lead a little, or encourage the shoulders to lead. Yeah. Now, bending a little right. Now this time when you turn down the center line at C, I want you to start the leg heel on the turn. So you don't let her push into that right shoulder on the turn. So you're going to start your leg heel now. There. Did you feel why I asked you to do that?
Yeah.
the shoulders. There, there. And then canter a circle again. Good. And give the reins one stride, yep. Good. Yep. Now, canter a circle. Oh, that's okay, just organize. Take your time, take your time. Come to walk. Ooh, and trot. Now the reason I did that, she fell into the canter, she's all out of balance and she's running. Make sure you're not holding her back. You want her to whoa, you tell her to whoa. And you notice you were kind of letting her run in the trot, but you came immediately to walk. It's not that she won't come back, you just really want saying come back. Now, I'd like you to do the center line leg heel to canter again. And you're going to circle. And then I'm going to ask you to come to a trot leg heel on the circle. Good. And canter a circle. Good. And trot. And leg heel. Leg heel out. Leg heel out. Yep. Good. You see what I'm getting at with that? Yeah. Good. Center line leg heel again. Ooh, leg heel now. Ooh, let her bend. Let her bend. Yep. Yep. Good. Try to let the shoulder lead and then canter. Yep. Circle and trot. Oh, and leg heel. Oh, leg heel, leg heel, leg heel. Yeah. Stay on the circle. Oh. And leg heel again. Make the circle bigger. Go towards C. That's right. So we're creating bend by leg yielding. We're trying to, she falls so much onto her inside shoulder. We're actually trying to make her shoulder fall out. Yeah. Now, next time, come down, come straight ahead. Actually, let's give her a short walk break. Let her down. Okay. Bet you got the arena right.
Kind of tried that before.
Big walk. I think when you get that where she kind of hops in front in the canter, the thing I want you to think about, I'm not 100% convinced of this, but I'm pretty sure, that's when you get holding her a little too much.
Oh, yeah.
So just when that starts to happen, just give the rein a little and see. As I say, I'm not 100% convinced, but that's my gut feeling right now. So let's go again. And walk across the diagonal. We'll go to the left for a little bit. And when you're ready, let's trot. Good. Good. straight ahead. Very good. Very good. Yep. Good. From A, let's do a 3-loop serpentine. Doesn't matter at all. Right leg, push her out just, oh, not faster, not faster. Now, your second loop was a little too big. Yep, let's do it again. And I want you to think about maintaining the same tempo throughout. She has a tendency to go a little bigger when she's going right. Right leg, up. Good. Good. And on the long side, let's halt. Take your time. Oh. Oh. Just stand, easy hand. Standing still. Good. And let's trot again. Good. Across the diagonal, and from quarter line to 3/4 line lengthen. In other words, the middle part of the diagonal lengthen. Yep. And shorten. Ooh, don't shorten that neck. Good. Good. Large circle at V Victor, 20-meter circle. As you crossing the center line, 2 steps of leg yield out. And just 2 steps out, and then normal circle. And then when you're away from the wall, 2 steps out to help create your bend. Make sure your left rein is allowing the bend. Stay on the circle. Do that a couple of times. Yeah. And then let's canter. Yeah. And draw. Oh. Leg heel, leg heel. Yeah. And then when you're ready, canter. So whenever you feel ready, canter. But I want you to be ready to do those little leg yieldy things. Okay, good. Good. Very good. Oopsie, yep. Oh, oh, oh. Little leg heel. Let's do one more canter. You let her fall in a little too much. And trot. Ooh, leg heel, leg heel. Yeah. Good. Yeah. And let's go straight ahead. Center line. Very good. tall. Oh, easy. Okay, walk forward, walk forward. Yep. Let's trot again. Either way. And then once again on the center line. The reason I said very good is her balance stayed good that turn. She didn't push so much into her right shoulder. Center line. Right leg to turn. Good, good. And very gradually to halt. Very gradually through the walk. Oh. Good. And let her walk. And let her down. Addison, I feel like that's enough. What do you think? I mean, we can keep going.
She's distracted and she's getting tired.
Yeah, it's the tired that you know, you don't want to take advantage of her. And we did a lot of transitions yesterday. We didn't focus on the transition so much today. I mean, for example, that time that she halted here and then got so crooked, I mean, her hind legs were collapsing right, left, and center. Back to the long-term prognosis. One thing that makes a really good St. George I-1 small tour horse, a young rider horse, and not a good small tour horse, is often the fact that the walk isn't very good. In other words, a professional isn't going to touch a walk that isn't good. A young rider will take that if everything else is really super. You know, I mean, this is sort of the feeling that's out there. But the walks are, as everything becomes more competitive, people are paying even more attention to the walk. And she, you know, it's not her fault. And it's not, I don't think it's a training fault at all. She doesn't have a good quality walk. And she doesn't have a great canter. I think the canter will definitely get better. The walk is always going to be a challenge because as you try to collect it, that creeps back in. Because it's her natural tendency. I love this horse. I love her character and her temperament, as I said before, you know. She tries her heart out. And I feel everything that she does wrong is totally honest. Even the distraction. Why shouldn't she be distracted? I mean, yes, but she's accepting your control of it. You know? I mean, she's green. She has every right to be going, ooh, what's that? Ooh, what's that? And it's a very honest, it's not a resistance. It's an honest distraction. But the walk and the canter, the quality's not great, and the strength really isn't there. Yeah. It will get better. If you had this horse, if you'd bought this horse, I'd say great, let's go on with it. But do you want to put money into it? I don't know.
That's a big question.
Yeah. There's some good stuff.
Temperament is beautiful.
But the strength is a big deal.
Yeah.
What about jumping?
Which horse is this?
Jumping might be, she might be fine.
Second.
I don't know about the quality of the canter for a hunter.
Okay.
What do you mean second?
Is this her second horse?
Oh, she's been on a gazillion horses.
Oh.
We have to,
First one we're looking to buy.
first one
Yeah.
we look to purchase and not lease. Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's out on trial. I could see an older adult amateur just loving feeling
Oh,
safe
and
on this one.
yeah, and you know, you train her and get her going, and I think she's going to learn the movements very easily, don't you think?
Yeah.
I just don't know if it's fitting with Addison's the riding goals.
Yeah.
she's got two sets of goals: the training the
Yeah,
horse and the
exactly.
riding.
And
So
because of the strength, everything's going to take longer. And she's 5. She's not like 3. If she were weak in 3, you know, by 5 they should be. You know, when you have a nice 5-year-old, you feel like we can go right on because they've grown up enough.
If
As
given an additional 6 months of this kind of strengthening training, where do you think that decision should lie? You know, at what, you know, how do you would you measure that 6 months for pulling the trigger on this?
The canter has to be better. I mean, hopefully she's going to be a lot stronger in 6 months' time, but the quality of the canter has to be getting better.
Okay.
because we can always ask for longer trials.
Yeah. I mean,
To give it a- to
whoever
see.
owns this horse is getting a lot of bonus training out of this.
Yes. And she's having a baby in July, so there's a lot on their
Oh,
plate.
yeah. Yeah.
So all I can think is either look to extend if she's willing and see where it
Yeah.
goes in 6 months, or look for another. But we're gonna leave that up to Addison.
Yeah.
Yep.
And of course, if you wait, then now you've got to start the searching all over again.
No, it's all right.
Yeah. But Addison, I think you're doing a lovely job. And you've just got to focus.
At her age,
On the strength.
turning 18, with
Uh-huh.
with the goals to be trying to compete as a rider,
Mhm.
but also wanting to be a horse trainer.
Mhm.
What direction, if you're 18, do you think someone her age should vie for? Because this has been valuable, training a young horse.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
we've gotten a lot of growth
Yeah.
in every situation.
Yeah.
But what crossroads do you choose to kind of follow when you're at that? You know what I mean? I
Not
don't know.
entirely.
Do you go for the competition record,
Okay.
or do you go for like training these
The
young
competition record
horses,
is
I
unfortunately
don't know.
meaning too much.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
I mean, there are people out there that have started businesses purely because they won the North American Championships, and that's the only horse they've ever ridden.
Right. Exactly. Yep.
And that's a shame.
Yep.
Building up a reputation as a trainer takes a little longer, you know, like the trainer of young horses, but you know, the competition,
Distracted.
you have to have some of the I mean, you have to prove yourself out there. You're in college.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, to me, one of the best ways to get started is the working student type situation. Doesn't have to be exactly that, where you're working under someone who gradually lets you take on some business. You know, which is what I always did. You know, I had a big business, so I had a lot of working students, and the ones rose to the top, and you know, they would end up with a little business within my business. And that's because that way you learn about the business aspects of it. Have you done a working student situation?
I did one type over the summer a
Uh-huh.
couple years ago,
Uh-huh.
but that's really
Yeah.
been it.
Yeah. And or you know, in general, aligning yourself with someone who's going to help you along, meaning you work with some people, they're too much into their own business to be willing to sort of promote you. But I mean, you do a lovely job, Addison. There's no question about it. I would recommend you in a heartbeat to take on a young horse. Certainly from what I've seen here and what I know of you.
All right. Well, she just has to look at
Yeah.
She's talked about maybe going over to Europe and doing working student somewhere
Yeah,
over
I mean,
there.
that's a fabulous approach. You just want to find the right place because a lot of them are slave labor camps.
Yeah.
And, you know, I know a couple kids that are over there now just having amazing opportunities. But I've also known too many that have, you know,
Almost want to leave it.
yeah, yeah.
All right.
Super. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
She's tired. And you know, I think for everybody, that's such an important thing. When you have a horse with this character, this temperament, she tries